Dog hugs owner. One last time before euthanasia. Then vet says, "Stop." The dog wrapped his paws around his owner one last time, and that's when the veterinarian's face went pale. David's hands were shaking as he carried him through those clinic doors. Bruno, his German shepherd, his shadow for 12 years, felt so light in his arms, too light, like he was already slipping away. The waiting room smelled of disinfectant and fear. Other pet owners glanced at them, then quickly looked away. They knew. Everyone always knows when someone's carrying their best friend to say goodbye. Dr. Elena Martinez met them at the door. Her eyes were kind but professional. She'd done this 1,000 times before. "David, are you ready?" she asked softly. Was he ready? How could anyone ever be ready for this? He nodded, not trusting his voice. The examination room was smaller than David remembered. Sterile white walls, a metal table covered with a blue blanket. Everything about it screamed finality. He laid Bruno down gently. The dog's breathing was shallow, labored. Each breath seemed like it might be his last. His once bright eyes were clouded now, distant, like he was already somewhere else. But then something happened. Bruno lifted his head, just barely, and looked at his owner. Really looked at him. And in that moment, David saw him again. Not the dying dog on this table, but the puppy who'd chewed his favorite shoes. The protector who'd barked at every shadow. The friend who'd sat beside him through every heartbreak, every triumph, every ordinary Tuesday evening. David's vision blurred with tears. Dr. Martinez prepared the injection with practiced efficiency. "I'll give you a moment," she said, stepping back. David leaned down close to Bruno, his forehead against the dog's. "Thank you, boy," he whispered. "Thank you for everything, for every morning walk, every stolen sandwich, every time you knew I needed you before I did." Bruno's tail moved, just once, barely a twitch. Then, and David would never forget this, Bruno lifted his front paws. Weak, trembling, but determined. He wrapped them around David's neck and pulled himself close to his owner's chest. He was hugging him. This tough, stoic German shepherd was hugging his owner goodbye. David lost it, completely broke down, holding Bruno as tears poured down his face. "I love you," he sobbed into the dog's fur. "I love you so much." That's when everything changed. Dr. Martinez approached with the stethoscope, ready to check Bruno's heart one final time before the procedure. Standard protocol. A formality before the end. She placed it against the dog's chest, then froze. Her brow furrowed. She moved the stethoscope to a different spot, then another. Her expression shifted from professional composure to confusion, then to something else entirely. Alarm. "Wait," she said sharply. "David, wait." David's heart stopped. "What? What's wrong?" "Don't let go of him." She pressed the stethoscope harder against Bruno's ribcage, listening intently. Seconds felt like hours. "His heartbeat, it's irregular, but it's fighting, really fighting." She looked up at David, and he saw something he hadn't expected to see today. Hope. "This isn't organ failure. Something else is wrong, and if it's what I think it is, David, we might not be too late." The room spun around him. "What are you saying?" Dr. Martinez was already moving, pulling out her phone, barking orders to her assistant. "Get me his full chart. Temperature reading now, and prep an IV station, stat. David's mind couldn't process it. 10 seconds ago, he was saying his final goodbye. Now, is he going to? He couldn't finish the sentence. Dr. Martinez's eyes met his. I don't know yet, but I'm not giving up on him if he's not giving up on himself. Did you see that hug? That wasn't surrender, David. That was a fighter telling you he's not done yet. They hooked Bruno up to machines David didn't understand. Fluids, antibiotics. Dr. Martinez worked with fierce concentration, checking readings, making notes, adjusting dosages. His temperature is dangerously low, but his organs aren't shutting down, she explained, not looking up from her work. I think he's been poisoned, not intentionally, but something toxic. Maybe he ate something in the yard or encountered contaminated water. If we can flush his system and fight the infection before it spreads further. She didn't finish that sentence. She didn't have to. David sat in a plastic chair beside the examination table, holding Bruno's paw. The dog's eyes were closed now, but his chest rose and fell steadily under all those tubes and wires. Hey, buddy, David whispered. Remember that time you stole an entire rotisserie chicken off the counter? Or when you jumped into the lake after that duck and came back covered in mud? You've always been stubborn, always been a fighter. So fight now, okay? Fight like hell, because I'm not ready to lose you. I'm not ready. The clock on the wall ticked forward. Midnight came and went. Dr. Martinez sent her staff home, but stayed herself, checking on Bruno every 30 minutes. Each time, David searched her face for answers. Each time, she just gave him a small, tired smile that said, "We're still trying." David must have dozed off around 4 in the morning, because the next thing he knew, gentle sunlight was streaming through the window, and Dr. Martinez was shaking his shoulder. "David, look!" Bruno's eyes were open. Not just open, alert. He was looking at David with recognition, with awareness. His tail thumped weakly against the blanket, once, twice. "Oh my God," David breathed. "Bruno? Bruno boy?" The dog's tail thumped again, stronger this time. David grabbed Bruno's face gently between his hands. "You're still here. You're still here." Dr. Martinez was grinning now, genuine joy breaking through her exhaustion. The antibiotics are working. His temperature is rising. He's not out of the woods yet, but David, he's responding. He's really responding. Over the next few days, David practically lived at that clinic. He brought his laptop, worked from the waiting room, ate vending machine sandwiches, and spent every spare minute at Bruno's side. Each day brought new miracles. First, Bruno drank water on his own. Then he ate a little. By day 3, he lifted his head when David entered the room. By day 5, his tail wagged with something close to his old enthusiasm. "Talk to him," Dr. Martinez encouraged. "Tell him about home. Remind him what he's fighting for." So David did. He told Bruno about his favorite spot in the backyard, where the sun hits just right in the afternoon. About the neighbor's cat he loved to chase, but never caught. About the new tennis balls that were still in the package, waiting for him. "We've got so much left to do," David told him. "You owe me at least 1,000 more walks, 1,000,000 more belly rubs, and another decade of stealing food off my plate when you think I'm not looking." Bruno's eyes seemed to say, "Deal." 1 week after the day David thought he'd lose him, Bruno tried to stand. Dr. Martinez and David were both there when it happened. Bruno had been lying on his side, resting peacefully, when suddenly his legs tensed. He pushed himself up onto his front paws, wobbling, determined. "Easy, boy," David said, moving closer. "Take your time." But Bruno wasn't interested in taking his time. With tremendous effort, he got his back legs under him and stood, unsteady, shaking, but standing. Then he took a step toward David. David dropped to his knees as Bruno stumbled forward, and when the dog reached him, he caught him in his arms. They stayed like that, both of them trembling, both of them crying, or at least David was crying. Bruno just buried his muzzle in David's shoulder and made a low, contented sound. "That's my boy," David whispered. "That's my brave, stubborn, beautiful boy." Dr. Martinez was wiping her own eyes. "In 20 years of practice," she said, her voice thick with emotion, "I've never seen a recovery like this. He's a miracle, David, a genuine miracle." 2 days later, Dr. Martinez cleared Bruno for discharge. "Keep him quiet, easy walks only, special diet for the next month. But he's going to make it, David. He's going to make a full recovery." David couldn't speak, could only nod and try not to cry again. When he clipped the leash to Bruno's collar, David's hands were shaking. But this time it was from joy, not grief. They walked toward the exit together, Bruno's steps a little slow but steady. As they passed through the lobby, the receptionist started clapping. Then the vet techs. Then the other pet owners in the waiting room. Everyone was smiling, some crying happy tears. Bruno held his head high, like the champion he was. Outside, the world had never looked more beautiful. Spring flowers bloomed in the planters, birds sang in the trees. The sun warmed David's face. He knelt down and hugged Bruno one more time. "A week ago, I thought I'd lost you. Now, we get to go home together. We get more time, more adventures, more life." Bruno pressed against him, his tail wagging strong and sure. As they walked to the car, David realized something. The hug that almost was goodbye had become the embrace that brought them back to each other. Sometimes the end is just a new beginning in disguise. Sometimes love is stronger than anything, even death itself. And as Bruno jumped into the back seat and turned to look at David with those bright, knowing eyes, he understood. Their story wasn't ending. It was just getting started again. Never give up on those you love. Never stop fighting. Because sometimes when you think all hope is lost, that's exactly when miracles happen. Bruno taught David that. He hugged his owner goodbye, and then he decided it wasn't time yet. And David will be grateful for that decision every single day for the rest of their lives together. This is their story, a story of love, loss, and the incredible power of refusing to surrender.